All right, so listeners ready for this? We're going deep on Nando de Freitas today.
Nando de Freitas.
Yeah. You know AI VIP, right?
Yeah.
We've got this whole profile on him. And it's amazing. This guy, he's not just like building AI, he's like shaping how we even think about AI.
It's true. And I think one of the most interesting things about de Freitas is that his journey, his path to AI superstardom,
Yeah.
it's not what you'd expect. He didn't actually start in computer science.
Oh, really?
Yeah, can you believe that? This leading figure in AI, his first love was electrical engineering.
So different from what you think of when you think AI superstar.
Totally. Born in Zimbabwe, grew up in South Africa, starts out in electrical engineering, but then something changes. He goes to the University of British Columbia and dives headfirst into computer science.
Wow.
It really makes you think about his curiosity, willingness to just jump into something new.
Okay, so I'm hooked already. But how do we get from, like, circuits to the kind of AI that's changing the world?
That's where his mentor comes in, Kevin Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Huge name in machine learning and clearly had a massive influence on de Freitas back at UBC.
So even AI superstars have mentors. It's kind of reassuring, actually. Shows you don't have to be born knowing this stuff.
Right.
You can learn, you can grow, which, let's be honest, is probably why you, dear listener, are tuning in. But what was it about deep learning that really grabbed de Freitas? What was that spark?
Well, he became absolutely crucial to the whole deep learning revolution.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that's powering everything. Recommendations on your favorite streaming service, the possibility of self-driving cars. De Freitas' work is all over that.
I knew he was a big name, but wow. Okay, so without getting too technical, can we at least touch on what he did? Like, what are some of his signature contributions?
Definitely. So let's start with probabilistic models. They're crucial because they let AI deal with uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. The real world is messy. It's unpredictable. Probabilistic models, they help AI deal with that. And that makes it way more powerful, way more applicable to, well, basically everything.
So it's not just ones and zeros. It's like maybe.
Yeah.
Not just definitely. I can see why that's huge.
Absolutely. Then there's his work on reinforcement learning. Ever heard of AlphaGo, the AI that beat the Go champion?
Yeah.
That's reinforcement learning. And de Freitas' work here, it goes way beyond just games.
Okay, so I've got dealing with uncertainty. We've got making AI learn through experience. What else?
Well, he's made some huge leaps in actually getting neural networks to work well. Everyone's heard of neural networks, right?
Yeah.
But making them efficient, making them actually effective, that's a whole other challenge. And de Freitas has been right at the forefront of that.
And all this isn't just theory, right?
Yeah.
It's having a real impact.
Absolutely. Think about it. If you got a medical diagnosis recently, the tech behind that, that could very well be influenced by de Freitas' work on neural networks.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. From Zimbabwe to the future of tech. That's quite a journey.
It really is. And it gets even more interesting because this guy ends up at Google DeepMind.
DeepMind. That's like the heart of AI research, right?
Exactly. And while projects like AlphaGo and AlphaZero get the headlines, de Freitas isn't just working on those specific programs, he's working on the underlying frameworks that make all that stuff possible.
So he's not just playing the game, he's designing the whole game board.
Exactly. But there's another side to de Freitas, something beyond the technical brilliance.
You mean like how he leads teams, builds bridges between the research world and the real world? He's not just a genius coder, he's making things happen.
Exactly. But even beyond that, he's asking the big questions. He's not just building cool AI, he's thinking about what it all means.
This is where it gets really interesting. We talked about the hey W of his work.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the WHY.
Right, and that's where we got to talk about artificial general intelligence, or AGI, the idea of AI reaching human-level intelligence. De Freitas has been right in the middle of that debate.
So that's a whole other level. Where does he actually stand on all that? Does he think we're on the verge of creating truly intelligent machines? Or is that still science fiction?
It's interesting. De Freitas doesn't really see general AI, AGI, and the kind of specialized AI we have now as like separate things.
Oh, interesting.
He actually thinks that achieving AGI is totally possible.
Yeah.
And that's what he's working towards.
So not just theorizing, he's actually trying to make it happen.
That's pretty ambitious. It is. And what's really fascinating is he doesn't think it's just about building, bigger, faster computers.
Right.
He really emphasizes understanding the fundamentals of intelligence itself.
Okay.
Whether that's in the human brain or in a complex AI system.
So trying to crack the code of intelligence, like what makes something truly intelligent, regardless of whether it's, neurons or silicon.
Exactly. He believes that if we unlock those secrets, then we can build AI that goes beyond just mimicking human behavior.
Yeah.
We can build AI that actually understands the world.
That's a huge goal.
Yeah.
Okay, so how? How do we even begin to do that? Is there some kind of roadmap to AGI?
Well, he doesn't exactly lay out a step-by-step guide, but he does point to a few key ideas. Remember those probabilistic models we talked about?
Yeah, the ones that help AI deal with uncertainty?
Yeah.
Yeah, they seemed pretty important.
They're absolutely essential to his vision of AGI. He argues that those models, they're the key to building AI that can reason, plan, and make decisions in messy, unpredictable environments.
So just like humans have to do every single day.
Exactly. It's not just about crunching numbers, it's about probabilities, possibilities, all those shades of gray that make up real life.
I like that, the shades of gray.
Right. And he also emphasizes the role of learning, especially the kind of learning we see in humans. Learning from experience, from making mistakes, from interacting with the world.
Yeah, it's almost like he wants to build AI that can, learn like a curious child. Constantly exploring, figuring things out.
That's a great analogy. Which brings us to another crucial element in De Freitas' vision. Embodiment.
Embodiment. What does that even mean? Are we talking like giving AI a physical body? Are we talking robots?
Not necessarily robots in the, traditional sense. He argues that for AI to truly get the world, it needs to experience it firsthand.
Yeah, okay.
Interact with it physically, not just through data and simulations.
So less Terminator, more like, an AI that can learn to bake a cake by actually trying it in a kitchen.
Exactly. It could be a virtual embodiment, like a really advanced simulation, or it could be a more physical form. The key is that the AI needs to experience the world through some kind of sensory input.
It's like we're giving AI the tools to learn and understand on its own instead of just feeding it information. That's a pretty radical idea when you think about it.
It is. And here's where it gets really interesting. De Freitas thinks that if we combine probabilistic modeling, embodied learning, and this deep understanding of the principles of intelligence, we can create AI that's not just smart, but genuinely intelligent.
Intelligent in a way that we can relate to, maybe even learn from.
Potentially, yeah. Think about it. If we crack the code of AGI, we're basically unlocking the secrets of our own intelligence. We're holding up a mirror to ourselves, but the mirror is made of algorithms and data.
Whoa, we're getting deep here.
Yeah.
This is moving beyond computer science and into philosophy territory.
And that's what's so exciting about De Freitas' work. He pushes us to think beyond just the technical, to think about the philosophical, the existential implications of AI.
It's a good reminder that AI isn't just about building better gadgets.
Right.
It's about understanding what it means to be intelligent, to be human in a world that's becoming increasingly intertwined with, artificial minds.
Exactly. But before we get too lost in the existential stuff, let's not forget that we're talking about Nando de Freitas, a brilliant researcher who's also keenly aware of the potential downsides of AI.
Right, we haven't forgotten about all the talk about ethics and responsibility.
And for De Freitas, it's not just talk, it's something he really lives. For him, pursuing AGI isn't just a scientific challenge, it's an ethical imperative.
Okay, hold on. How is building superintelligent AI an ethical imperative?
De Freitas believes that the problems humanity is facing, climate change, poverty, you name it, they're so complex that we need a new level of intelligence to solve them.
So we need an AI Einstein to come up with a grand unified theory of everything.
In a way, yeah. He argues that AGI, if we develop it responsibly, could be the ultimate problem-solving tool. It could analyze tons of data, understand these really complex systems, and come up with solutions that are just beyond what we can do right now.
Okay, but couldn't that same power be used for, less than noble purposes?
Yeah.
Imagine a superintelligent AI in the wrong hands. That's a scary thought.
And that's exactly why De Freitas is so focused on the ethical side of things. He doesn't just want to build intelligence, he wants to instill values. He wants to make sure that this intelligence is aligned with human well-being.
So it's like raising a child. But the child is a super intelligent AI that could potentially outsmart us all.
Yeah, it's definitely a daunting thought, but it's one that De Freitas doesn't shy away from. He's adamant that we need to be thinking about these ethical questions now, before AGI becomes a reality, not after.
Like laying down the ground rules before the game even starts.
Yeah.
So he's not just trying to build AGI, he's trying to build it responsibly.
Exactly. And that's what makes him so fascinating. He's a researcher, a visionary, maybe even a bit of a prophet, right? He sees the potential of AI to change not just our technology, but to change US, to challenge how we think about what it means to be intelligent, to be human, in a world where those lines are getting blurrier every day.
This is mind-blowing stuff, and I feel like we've only scratched the surface.
And that's the beauty of a deep dive, right? We keep uncovering new layers, new insights, new questions.
Well, in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to bring all this back down to earth. We'll explore what De Freitas is working on right now, his current projects, and how he's trying to turn his vision for AGI into a reality. All right, so we've covered Nando de Freitas' journey, all his big ideas about AI, but let's get practical. What's he actually up to right now? What's going on in the De Freitas labs these days?
Well, one of his big focuses is developing better learning algorithms, more robust, more efficient. You know how we talked about AI needing to learn from massive amounts of data?
Yeah, like how do you teach an AI to learn from, I don't know, the entire internet without needing a computer the size of a planet?
Exactly. De Freitas is looking at new ways to make those learning algorithms way more efficient, more data hungry, but without losing accuracy.
So like optimizing the AI's learning process, making it a faster, more efficient student.
Exactly. And this ties into another area he's working on, meta learning.
Meta learning. Okay, now we're getting meta.
I know, right? But think about it. If we can teach AI to learn how to learn, if we can make it adapt to new situations, new tasks more quickly, that's a huge step towards AGI.
Because that's what humans do, right? We learn, we adapt.
Yeah.
We don't need to be reprogrammed every time something new comes along.
Exactly. De Freitas is trying to build that same flexibility, that meta-learning capability, right into AI.
So it's like giving AI the potential to, I don't know, evolve, grow beyond just a set of algorithms.
It really is. And this can't be a solo mission, right? He must be working with others.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, remember how we talked about him bridging the gap between academia and the real world? He's a master collaborator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, obviously, there's the connection with Google DeepMind.
Oh, of course.
They're behind some of the most groundbreaking AI out there.
Totally. And he's a key part of that, leading research, mentoring other scientists, really pushing the boundary.
He's got his finger on the pulse, for sure.
Yeah.
But he's not just sticking to the tech world, is he?
Not at all. He's working with people in neuroscience, cognitive science, even philosophy. Remember, he's not just about building AI, he's fascinated by the very nature of intelligence itself.
Right. Right, so he's getting all these different perspectives, bringing new ideas to the table.
Exactly. It's through these collaborations, these partnerships, that he's making his vision for AI a reality.
It's amazing to see it all coming together. But we can't forget about the ethics, right? All that talk about bias, about the potential for misuse, De Freitas takes that seriously.
He absolutely does. It's not enough to just build powerful AI. You got to make sure it's used for good. And De Freitas is actively working to shape the ethical landscape of this tech.
So what's he actually doing? Is he, like, writing an AI rulebook?
He's pushing for ethical guidelines, frameworks for how we develop and use AI. He works with groups like the Partnership on AI, which brings together all the big tech companies, researchers to promote responsible AI development.
So he's getting the big players, the ones building this stuff, to think about the ethics.
Exactly. And he's a really vocal public advocate, raising awareness, challenging assumptions, pushing for a better future for AI.
It's inspiring to see someone at his level not just focus on the tech, but on the human side of it all.
He's a real leader in that sense.
Yeah.
You know, even if we don't get to AGI in our lifetime, even if some of his ideas seem impossible now, the fact that someone like De Freitas is out there asking the hard questions, pushing boundaries, it gives me hope.
Hope that we can use this incredible technology for good. That AI can be a force for positive change.
That's a message worth sharing. So listener, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of Nando de Freitas, we leave you with a challenge. Explore this world yourself. Learn about the people shaping it and ask yourself, what role do you want to play in this incredible story?
Because the future of AI, it's not set in stone. It's being written right now by people like De Freitas. And maybe, just maybe, by people like you. And remember, you can learn more about De Freitas and other AI pioneers over at aivips.org.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep believing in the power of human ingenuity enhanced by AI to create a better world for all of us.